Live from Indianapolis, Indiana. Welcome to the Crossroads Sports Radio Show, presented by Scott K. Nichols and State Farm Insurance. And now, here's your hosts, Brandon Reese and Jonathan Birdsong.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Crossroads Sports Radio, episode number 244. I'm your host, Brandon Reese. I'll be joined momentarily by my co-host, Jonathan Birdsong. We've got a great show for you tonight, guys. It's Super Bowl week. We're going to talk Super Bowl, the official Super Bowl preview with our picks. If any of our picks have changed from last week's show. Super Bowl picks, Super Bowl preview. We've got news and notes from around the NFL, the NBA, a lot of news from the NBA. The NBA trade deadline's tomorrow at 3 p.m., so we're going to talk NBA trade deadline. We've got college basketball, big week in college basketball this past week, going into more games this week as we gear up for the conference tournaments and the NCAA tournaments. We've got quick hitters and more. We've got Twitter and TweetDeck and everything breaking down today. Everything seems like it's going to hell in a handbasket, but we've got myself and my co-host, Jonathan Birdsong. JB, how are you?
Man, I'm doing just fine, man. As everybody knows, we got this Heckle and Jekyll, you know what I'm saying, weather here in Circle City, Indianapolis, man. So it is what it is. Brandon, am I coming in good? I don't know. I got a new pair of audios. I just want to make sure I'm not muffled.
Yeah, so far you're sounding great.
Okay, that sounds awesome, man. Look, Brandon, is it? I know you gave a little preview saying we're gonna be talking about the Super Bowl, man. But it's a basketball world, ain't it?
It is. It is. We've got a lot of news going on in the college basketball world, the NBA.
Yeah, I feel like basketball has kind of taken over. You know what I'm saying? The airways, man, between the NBA trade deadline and Kyrie Irving, and like I said, we'll get into that, and LeBron, of course. How could we? You know what I'm saying? That was historic. You know what I'm saying? But
were you up?
Man, college basketball.
Well, let me ask you a true question before we get to that. Before we move on to everything else, were you awake for the moment?
For the moment, yeah, I watched the end of the game, dude.
Okay.
I'm mad that Westbrook. I mean, I'm mad that they lost the game.
Right, I agree. I thought it was weird. We'll talk about it, but to put a pin in it, I thought it was weird just how long the delay was. Because I was like, bro, we still got 10 seconds left in the third.
Right.
So we'll cover that and more. Right. We've got some audio for that we'll catch up on as well. Yeah, John, we can either start NBA just because there's so much going on in the world of the NBA. We can start college basketball. We can start Super Bowl preview. Which do you want to do? Your pick tonight.
Well, hey, man, let's just go with the topic of mind. Man, people have been losing their mind ever since it happened last night, right? And like there's been memes and people been, I mean, including myself, people have been posting different things and their opinions about. Did you talk about LeBron James becoming NBA's all-time leading scorer?
Yeah, absolutely. FYI, the NBA generated 225 million video views last night of LeBron doing the feat, scoring, breaking. If you haven't heard or you haven't seen, you've been living under a rock or your technologies went to shit. Last night, LeBron James did become the NBA's all-time leading scorer late in the third quarter. 8 points in the first, 12 in the second. Third quarter, he picked it up and scored the points to take over. Lakers still lost the game, but overall, LeBron finally sets the record that was held by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. If you didn't have a chance to see it or hear it or anything, we've got the clip for you, and we'll play that right now.
Looking for James. He's got it. Coming to the end of the third quarter. LeBron James, a shot at history. LeBron stands alone. The NBA's all-time scoring record now belongs to LeBron James.
What a cool moment. Celebrities are crazy in there last night. Thomas Bryant doing the biggest post up in the world, thinking he's going to get the damn ball in the situation in the picture, the picturesque picture. It reminded me of Kobe's last game when he scored the 60. Just it had that feel there in the Staples Crypto.com Center. But John,
Right.
my thoughts are, and I seen it all over Twitter last night while I was watching it, was people are going to bitch. People are going to complain. People are going to yada, yada, yada about LeBron James and the way the process was. And I saw a lot of people just trying to find something to hang on to, talking about Michael Jordan, et cetera, et cetera. People just need to quit being so sour. Enjoy the moment. Enjoy something that hasn't happened in 40 years. LeBron James, in our lifetime, LeBron James has set the all-time scoring record as one of the greatest NBA players of all time. One of the all-time greatest.
Right. So, hey, man, if everybody did do things the way Michael Jordan did, like, where would the world be with the rich now? If everybody listens to the sound of my voice, right, thinks Magic Johnson is one of the all-time great players in the years, it's not like how Michael Jordan did it. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is one of the all-time great players. It's not like how Michael Jordan did it. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's the constant comparison. So, amongst all of them, really, though, Brandon. You know what I'm saying? I think Kobe, his name is, and I think Kobe like fourth all-time in scoring or something like that. Michael Jordan's fifth. Brandon, of course, you know what I'm saying, I, of course, rooted against LeBron James as a Pacer fan, as, you know what I'm saying, all the time, all those years he was here in the East and playing for Miami Heat, playing for the Cleveland Cavaliers, and is always, you know what I'm saying, a thorn in the side of the Pacers, whether it's Paul George Pacers or Victor Oladipo's Pacers, man. You know what I'm saying? I look at it like that, from that perspective. And coming out of high school, again, all those things, man. Like what was, there's always somebody every year that either the media crowns or the NBA crowns or even fandom out here crowns that the next guy is going to be the one to take the NBA to the next level. Grant Hill, for whatever reason, he couldn't do it, right? Anthony Hardaway, for whatever reason, he couldn't do it, right? There's been a lot of names. And again, I'm not picking on those guys because they got injured. I'm just saying, when they came out of school, or either whatever, they got put this tab on them. You know what I mean? Can you do it? This challenge, right? So again, man, I get it. Michael Jordan 6 undefeated in the finals, man. But like, the media sensitivity that we have now, they didn't have then, or all the you know what I'm saying, eyes and ears and whatnot. So it is what it is, Brandon. You said it. You hit the nail on the head, man. Why after a game automatically compare it to something you've seen the last time you saw it when it was great was in 1998? You know what I'm saying? Why automatically compare it, man? Why does your mind automatically this appreciates the moment?
Right.
You know what I mean? The only moment that the only part I didn't like is like in the old basketball mind frame, like everybody on that floor would have been trying to win. And I don't necessarily know if that happened last night. We got 9 shots out of Anthony Davis and some kooky Russell Westbrook play, you know what I'm saying, as far as turnovers. It's not kooky because like he's like top 10 in all-time NBA turnovers, man. You know what I mean? But
he threw it to Phil Knight in the first row.
But I digress, man. The point is, man, LeBron James is one of, he's in the debate. If you say, there's people in their 70s that say Kareem Abdul-Jabbar because he won at all levels, high school, college, and professional. There's people that'll say it's Kobe Bryant because of what Kobe Bryant stood for. There's people that'll say it's LeBron James. It's a debate that will never end. And Brandon, I'm ready to see who's the next one they're going to, they try to live up to. Because outside of LeBron James, who has really lived up to this? Who can be the next one to carry the torch? Nobody.
Yeah. I'm going to find something as we're talking about that. I saw something today of the latest and updated off of Basketball Reference Hall of Fame probability of players. And obviously LeBron James 100%, Kevin Durant 100%, Chris Paul 100%, Stephen Curry 100%, This is as of right now. James Harden, 99%. Russell Westbrook, 99. Anthony Davis, 98. Carmelo, 98. Damian Lillard, 96. John, on this list, as of right now, I am shocked to see Kawhi Leonard's only 77%.
You can't be shocked.
Paul George is 93.
Paul George missed a lot of time, man, but
He did.
Paul George kind of made his name for himself. Paul George really made his name for himself for the time he played for the Pacers and that 1 year he played for Oklahoma. But Kawhi Leonard has been the guy, like, we haven't seen the claw be the claw.
Well, but he's having a hell of a season, though. Because I said that myself, and then I had to backtrack it because he's actually having a quietly good season.
That's this season.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, he set out the last couple.
And,
yeah.
and I think I think people are kind of. I think he gets in. There's no way he doesn't get in. He got 2 championships in his pocket. One from the Spurs, one from Toronto, and a Toronto Raptors team nobody ever thought. They're always good, but never can get over the hump. He got them over the hump and then immediately left.
Right.
Crazy. but like, yeah, man, I can see why he's 70%. It makes sense to me.
Let me ask you this, John. Obviously, LeBron, and yeah, in an old man's league, the biggest thing, they need wins right now, right? They need wins to try to get themselves to the playoffs. And you've got, you got Anthony Davis, like you said, 8-9 shots. He didn't even look like he was excited for LeBron's when he set the record there based off of a side video that I saw today, which who knows with that, but he was pissed off in the press conference about winning games, but you also have to take more shots. I mean, LeBron didn't even play the fourth quarter. I don't think. He didn't play much of it, especially in crunch time. The final, 5-6 minutes, he was on the bench out with his foot. I was so shocked last night that even your boy Skip Bayless even commended LeBron for setting the record. I thought his Twitter got hacked or something.
Nah. You know, deep down in his heart of hearts, man, Skip Bayless is still a reporter, a sports reporter, a sports analyst, all those things when he started out. You know what I mean? So a lot of those things with him and Stephen A. is show business. I tell lay people all the time, man. Like, those guys sometimes they trying to move on. I mean, they're happy with their jobs. They're kind of like actors. You know what I mean? They kind of, ESPN or Fox tell them this is the subject, this is the topic, and they just, wind them up and watch them go.
Right.
But yeah, man, Skip Bayless, hey man, I know we got bad Skip Bayless last. You know what I mean? Remember when what did he say? Something he said something crazy about Hamlin when he got injured, right? Right. So, but Skip can. If anybody remembers, we can have. There's been some hot points with Skip Bayless. We just can't remember it because
right. You must be getting out of your car. I can hear the beeping.
Sorry.
There was. I want to kind of move from Lakers. Pat Beverly, John. He has a podcast on the Barstool Sports Network, with Adam.
Oh, dude, setting this up something nice, ain't he?
He is. He had some comments. Roan on there was kind of talking. They were talking about their last couple games while they were here in Indiana. By the way, the Pacers just pissed that game away against the Lakers last Thursday when they were here, and just completely gave it away.
They did.
I mean, I had Lakers money line big, and thank God that came to fruition. But Pat Bev's comments about Indiana, John, I've got them right here. And hey, how about some normally you don't hear good things about people wanting to play the Pacers or want to play here. People complaining about the fans and stuff. But here was Pat Bev's comments on that latest podcast.
But not even only those two places, like Indiana. Like for me, playing in Indiana is it's it for me. That's where it started. That's where the game. And I'm sick with this basketball shit. So, it's like for me, and I was telling my guys, man, playing in Indiana, the NBA is who's your ball, like the real good NBA, the elite teams that, consistently win over amount of time. it's Hoosier basketball with just like a little sprinkle of like park ball. You know what I'm saying? So like when you play in Indiana, like you appreciate it more. Well, I do. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it more. You know, so yeah, caught a vibe there. Was good, man. They know their basketball.
Yeah, they know those white snowball.
Man, they know that. Listen, it started there.
Yeah, honestly, have you ever watched the movie Hoosiers?
You know I have. It's one of my favorite movies. You mean? I love Hoosier ball.
It is awesome. Just them.
I love it.
The way that he, like, the scene that sticks with me from Hoosiers most is not even like really a full scene from the movie, but like he's just like shooting on like dirt. Like he just has like the hoop in the middle of nowhere on dirt. Like if the ball just like falls to the ground, he collects it off the ground and then runs back and shoots again. Like,
who was the main player in the Hoosiers?
I'm not even really locked in on Hoosiers like that.
That's how good basketball team is. You didn't even know the main player from Hoosiers. Everybody was eating. Passed 15 times. You know, like it was great. It was great.
Positionless basketball started in Hoosiers.
Man, I love Hoosier ball.
So, I mean, shout out Pat Bev. We might as well trade to get him here tomorrow.
Don't. Hey, Buddy Hill's on his way out anyway, right?
Yeah.
Pat Bev showing his love for Indiana, and you know he's a free agent at the end of this season. His contract is on expiring. The Pacers kind of claim that they're looking for a defensive wing. He's kind of more defensive guard, right? But you know, Pat Bev can defend 1, 2, and 3, right? Anything else after that is like you'd be lying. He'll tell you he can defend a 4, 5, but like be some real Pat. But like, man, no, man, that sounds good, man. Like if I don't know, man. I don't know if it's something that they know something that Pat Bev might be on the way.
It'd be nice to see though.
Indiana and stuff for. Yeah, as long as he can, we keep that craziness on the court, and that's kind of what people here in Indiana they kind of like. They would kind of like a guy like Pat Bev, defensive minded guy. You know what I'm saying, to come up with a critical steal or critical block. And what would that look like with him and Miles? You know what I'm saying? But like some of the other shenanigans that he's you know what I'm saying. Like, I can say this.
Fuck it, I can deal with it. I'm fine with it.
From Lance Stevenson. I'm saying we deal with Lance Stevenson shenanigans. So there you go.
Let me ask you this: you go from one crazy story, just what you talking one crazy to a crazy story. John, what is your take? What's your thoughts on this Indiana Pacers John Morant? John Morant trying to be in his feelings are in the streets, apparently. I mean, with his brother getting kicked out of games and driving by slow in the SUV by the team bus. What in the world?
They're living through John Morant on like what they would do, but they can't do anything. So John can go out there and play and score 34 and dish and give out 10 assists or get a couple steals or whatever, and handle out his own personal aggression because the Pacers are probably talking just as much trash back to them, Memphis, as you know what I'm saying, as they're giving, right? But like, so Ja goes back, or they're around it, and they hear what's being said, I guess, you know what I mean? And then they want to start. I mean, it doesn't make sense, though, to me. It doesn't. Like, it's everything stays on the floor. And, like, they got Pacers, entourage Pacer people are getting laser scopes pointed at them. It's a game. We're talking about a game. We're not talking about, you know what I'm saying, what's going on in Russia and Ukraine or what's going on in other parts of the world where people are actually trying to do volley. Like, man, I want to see Ja Morant. I don't want to see Ja Morant having to answer questions because somebody of his entourage, not him, it's not him, but somebody of his entourage want to put their hands or pistol or worse, a pistol on somebody from the Pacers. That doesn't make sense.
It's going to ruin his career, John, is what it could do.
Dude, this is not a gang. I mean, listen, I lived the whole life of 90s of gangster rap and watching black. I'm going to be honest, this is Black History Month. Can I keep it real one time? Watching black men tearing one down one another for record sales. That didn't make no sense. So why would black men or anybody, right, the more world scope, tear themselves down for freaking basketball? I love basketball. I do. You know what I mean? But I don't want to see Ja Morant. Ja Morant could potentially be an MVP. Ja Morant could be at some point. I hope he's listening. I know he is. They listen to him. We got a big fan base.
They do.
Man, you know Coach Abby. You know Coach Abby Jump. And I know they're sitting, I think they're 6 right now, Brandon, the Tigers, but they're going to make a run. I don't know about the men's team. I don't know about the men's team. The Hardaway Tigers, man. I don't know about the men's team because they got some 4 losses, bad losses. But let me get back to John Morant, right? But Memphis loves us down there. I don't want to, Memphis loves it. But, like, at some point, man, John Morant could be somebody's Kobe Bryant, somebody's Larry Bird, somebody's Tim Duncan, a franchise. Memphis. But all that goes to piss, man. If you become associated with a criminal act, like such as that, you don't want to be. Listen, you don't want to be Steven Jackson. You know what I mean? I get it. Steven Jackson's on. They did some shit stirrers. They damn. You got me cussing, Brandon. They some shit stirrers. They damn self. They got kicked out of ESPN, and now they went back in. Guess what, Brandon? We didn't even talk about it. Last week, we should have talked about last week. This is one of the campus topics we was going to talk about with Justin. Like, remember, they trying to start shit with Skip Bayless because of what Skip Bayless said.
Right. They're all in their feelings. They're so all in their feelings. It's crazy.
Like, dude, there's no way. I know what kind of, cachet is like Steven Jackson made it. I mean, I'm not trying to hate on him. You know what I mean? He got, at one point, he was working for ESPN, right? Even after, like, all the crap, like, they hired him. ESPN won't hire me and you, Brandon, but they'll hire Steven Jackson because he played basketball? What kind of world is that? Here, this dude shot up a damn strip club here in Indianapolis. I didn't forget. You know what I'm saying? Don't tell me the world ain't got second chances for people, right? But the point is, I got a little hype, right? The point is, John Morant, like, this is not in your character, sir. And, like, at this point of a career, playing, like, he just signed an extension 2 years ago. Did like $200 million? It's something crazy. Like, if you had, like, either your people got to get better or you got to remove them, man.
It's just crazy.
That's all I got. Hey, this ain't me. Prime will tell you that.
Yeah.
Deion Sanders will tell you that.
Well, you saw what
Deion Sanders.
They were talking about. I sent you that clip that was on TikTok where they were talking about Morant. Just quit. We feel disrespected. We're not respected, and nobody's giving us a chance. And like, I don't want to meet.
What are you talking about?
I don't want to stay shut and play basketball, but come on now.
Man, ain't nobody rolled out the red carpet when Kobe Bryant was shooting the air ball.
Right.
They all laughed at him when they were shooting the air balls against Utah. And then you know what? The next year, or that summer, he worked out extra hard. Ain't laugh at me. And we never laughed ever again. You know what I'm saying? This dude is like, man, Shannon Sharp is talking about his Crossroads Sports is winning free for time. The first don't believe it, man. Come on, man. This ain't flag football. And they don't even cry on that. Go ahead, Brandon. I know what on the tangent.
I want to keep it Pacers.
Because I know we got Kyrie Irving.
Oh yeah, that crazy's coming too. But I want to finish off with the Pacers before we do that. John, I want you to we got the trade deadline tomorrow, 3:00 tomorrow afternoon.
Trade them picks. They got 3 first rounders.
You got 3 first rounds. Going to have to make a trade. You've got some assets that you can use for trade. Chris Duarte has been mentioned in a trade. Denver is interested in Duarte. I don't know what you could get back from Denver for that. But the Pacers are playing in Miami tonight. The game, I believe, just started recently. But, John, I put 4 names on my list. So I want you to think of your 4. But not like the Kendall Browns and those type that are like,
okay, I
don't know. But typically in a franchise expansion draft, you can protect everybody. You can. There's 4 players you can't protect that are open for whatever drafting or trading, right? Whatever for a franchise team. So, John, I said to myself, I'm going to go ahead and pick 4 players that are touchable, right? I got 11 that are not touchable. I got 4 guys that are touchable for trade. I want you to think of your 4. Here are my 4. Chris Duarte. I think we both can agree on that. Daniel Tice, because I think you can get quality piece for him. Goga, I think you can get a quality piece for him with the draft picks and then probably add in Duarte or whatnot. And honestly, the Pacers won't do it. And I don't think I would do it either, but I'm in a mix between TJ McConnell, which the Pacers won't trade him, or Aaron Nesmith. I think Aaron Nesmith, you're getting the best value that you can get out of him right now. His stock is high. I think if you can get a trade piece for Aaron Nesmith, I think you do it. On McConnell, I just feel like he's one of those players, John, that if you get rid of McConnell, it could tear up the locker room, right? Just like, hey, he's that type of hustle player. Everybody likes him. Bam, you just got rid of him. And he's like that glue piece, that firecracker coming there. The other times I think of it happening is when the Pacers got rid of Danny Granger. That kind of really messed up the locker room and the mojo. Back when we had Evan Turner come in here and all that. That kind of messed it up. Bringing in Andrew Bynum. When we brought Andrew Bynum in, Roy Hibbert was never the same, right? That messed up the mojo.
Never.
That screwed over Roy so much. So I don't think the Pacers are going to look at TJ McConnell and be like, we got to trade this guy. I think he means a lot to this team, having that veteran leadership that you have to keep him there just not to ruin what you've got. And he's a good spark plug defender, which if you can add Pat Bev to that, you've got two great guard defenders. I think it's something to be great. But that's why I'm putting Aaron Nesmith in there. I think his stock is high enough that you could probably get a good piece with some trade assets, with some draft assets to get a good trade piece with Nesmith and that possibly. And even Duarte, if you want to add three of them. But what's your thoughts?
Man, only thing, man, when you say Nesmith and Duarte, man, I know Duarte is going through a horrible shooting slump. But I think he needs to be on a team that's strong on the inside, outside. I think that's what's needed here. So if he gets to change the area code, like going to Denver or something, man, oh man, where they do play inside, outside, it'll work for them. But like you're right, what do we get? They're not gonna send a Porter Jr. back in return. You know what I mean? So like, what does that look like? What reserve are you sending them? And it might be a veteran reserve, which kind of leads me to my next one. You mentioned the guard play, McConnell. I think that's what they like him. He's the KG veteran that they kind of keep around for 2 more seasons. If another team comes to call him because they need a KG veteran like McConnell in the backcourt to spell their starter because they're on a championship run, you know what I'm saying? They'll call it. They'll make an offer. And if that's the case, then the Pacers keep him until like, okay, the Lakers, like LeBron's putting their team together. And I'm picking on LeBron because I hope everybody gets triggered because I said LeBron, guess what? Golden State Warriors do the same crap too. They'll call, oh man, can we get you know what I'm saying? And they'll send somehow Cookie. But that's what I'm trying to say. Like they'll keep him around, and I think they should. Duarte, I like the kid Brandon, but I think he needs to play on a team that plays inside out and not like perimeters, just passing around. They want him to be an instant shot, and it's not been instant. And it was good. It was real good last season. It hasn't been. It's been ugly, darn right ugly the last 6 or 7 games. And he's kind of a injury bug kind of guy too. So you know what I'm saying? Do the kid a favor, man. Maybe send to Denver. You know what I mean? Who I would think about trading? You mentioned Daniel T. I mess his name up anyway. All the time, man. But you mentioned Daniel Tice. You didn't mention Jalen Smith. Jalen Smith, man, is he still starting, Brandon?
No. It's an open window. They've started Aaron. Honestly, they've started Aaron Nesmith at the 4. They have. He's played the 4 position.
Carlisle. Go. And here's people who've been complaining. I know King of Trolls said something about a guy at work also said. Like, Carlisle goes too small for too long. So what's going on? You got all this length, and Jalen, you know what I mean? You're not even using it. You know what I mean? So, like, then just try. I don't like playing 6'8", all across the board. That's what Oklahoma. You got to be real skilled at that to play that kind of style of basketball. Like everybody has to be able to shoot, and everybody on the Pacers can't necessarily shoot. You know what I'm saying? With high proficiency. Here's what I'll say, Brandon. Jalen Smith Entertainment. Go good, get the hell up out of here. Send him to Orlando. You know what I mean? For whatever you can get back.
Mo Bamba?
You know what I mean? Whatever you can get back. I don't know. If they need, I mean, if they really want to be serious, Brandon, if they really want to be serious, why haven't we heard the Pacers' name heavily attached to OG Anunoby?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If they really want to get serious about moving some assets and making OG Anunoby on the next year's contract, but then you might be saying, I don't know who might be leaving if you're trying to sign OG Anunoby, but that would be a serious move for me. For them, if they talk about, trade for OG Anunoby, but like I said, nobody's mentioned that yet.
Well, it sounds like the Raptors want way too much for Anunoby. Raptors want, I'm hearing, I mean, they want 3 firsts and a quality player for Anunoby. Now, Anunoby in the Knicks, the Raptors and the Knicks were talking this afternoon about a trade, sending Anunoby to the Knicks. The problem with New York is they can't get a for sure notification from Anunoby that he's going to resign when his contract's up. They want him to resign, and he's not giving them the yes to do that. So that's kind of holding the Knicks up on that end from them going full bore in for Anunoby. Do I think he gets moved tomorrow? I do think he does. I'm seeing tonight that they're talking about Pirtle. Pirtle possibly getting moved up to Toronto or even to Chicago, possibly. Which you move him up to Chicago. I mean, you've already got Vucevic in there at the center position, and DeMar DeRozan and that. But I almost think it's a sell season for Chicago. Just take it easy and work into it for next year. You've got the Lakers. There's a big talk now right there with them possibly getting D'Angelo Russell back in a 3-way trade with the Jazz and the T-Wolves. D'Angelo Russell will go to the Lakers. Russ and a first-round pick or 2 would go to Utah. And then the Mike Conley Jr. would go to Minnesota. I like Russ, but Russ was so confusing last night. And then him and Darvin Ham apparently got into it at halftime, and that relationship's over. I mean, it's been long overdue.
Yeah, and it ain't worked out for Russ. I try to use the trade machine to find a place for Russ to go. I had Russ going to Boston for Brogdon and some other trades, right? I don't know if Boston would do it. I know Boston's kind of, they're kind of got their hands up as well with Rick Brogdon, being a part-time player. I kind of like D'Angelo Russell with the Lakers. I don't necessarily. I have to see the contract. He's not on expiring at all. They're familiar with him. They know his ways. He's kind of mature. He kind of matured. We thought when he went to Brooklyn.
Right.
And then he kind of made his way around again with Golden State, but they didn't keep him for long.
He's a free agent after this year.
Then you just got 1 year of D'Angelo Russell?
No, you got less than that. You got a few months. He's making $31 million this year.
Oh,
He's a free agent at the end of the season.
Oh, so he is on expiring. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Well,
he signed a 4-year, $117 million contract with Brooklyn before he got traded.
Man, he just got to know that be ready to be ready to shoot. Once you get back to LA, be ready to shoot. Him and Rondo, not Rondo. Him and what's my man's name? He's not Rondo. I said Rondo. Yeah, it'd be pretty good. It's not gonna get them to the championship, but it'd be pretty good. It'll make things interesting for him.
Yeah. Let's go the other crazy. New York area. Brooklyn Nets, Kyrie Irving. Ryan on YouTube commented, Nets management took an L this season. Yeah, they definitely did, which Ryan, I think going into it, they thought they could reconcile the issues that we had during the offseason where Durant wanted traded, never got traded, and then Kyrie wanted traded, and he never got traded, and they thought they could get it to work out, and then you get rid of your head coach, Steve Nash. Yeah, it's been a rough year for the Nets. I don't think there's really any turning coming back from what they had during this past offseason. So they had to know the wagon was going to fall at some point, right? It was going to break down at some point. It's crazy. But John, Kyrie gets traded to the Mavs. I put out a couple tweets a day before the night of Kyrie saying that he wanted to get traded. I had 3 teams listed. The Mavs were my number 1 team. I thought that he would probably end up going to for pieces. Spencer Dinwiddie's going back to Brooklyn now as part of that trade. Finney Smith's going there in a 2029 first round and a couple second-round picks in 27 and 29. Kyrie's going to Dallas to be there with Luka. I just felt like he gave up some pieces for a guy that he's not. We've talked about it before. His head's not all in it. He's taken back. He's deleted his Instagram posts. He's back to saying, I take back what I said about the anti-Semitic stuff. It's just Kyrie. I feel bad for Luka now that he's going to have to deal with this train wreck for however long. Rest of this year, at least.
Hey, man, Mark Cuban wanted this.
He did.
Mark Cuban wanted this. Mark Cuban says, you know what? They don't understand Kyrie Irving. I do. I can. My millennial mind and how I made my money. I understand Kyrie Irving. Man, that dude left LeBron James hanging. That dude left the Boston Celtics hanging. That dude left Kevin Durant hanging. Did I leave out anybody? You see a trend here, Brandon?
Well, you saw the thing I sent you the other day.
He's gonna leave.
His comments. I'm not leaving Cleveland. He left.
Yeah, this is the reason why the Lakers didn't like the Lakers, not LeBron. Like when they all had their power conference to figure out like you can't trust that. He left the hated rival Boston Celtics. You know how hard they are about winning. Even when they are quote unquote tanking or having some seasons, they're still about winning. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like you can't trade assets for that when you know you can just kind of outright sign it. I think the market next year is going to kind of tell Kyrie, you are a 2-year player. We can't give you 4 years. No NBA team will give you no NBA team will give him 4 years, Brandon.
Nor should they.
No NBA team. Right. And if people say this, people don't say we haters. And I'm like, no, man, you got to follow the tea leaves. If I got fired from my job, right, and, people can go back and say, why you got fired and figure it out, and you have a pattern to this, they're going to penalize. It's kind of going to follow you. And unfortunately, it's going to be held against you. It's life. That's what life. That's what it is, man. Kyrie, immensely talented player. Is he going to show up? Is he going to play? Is he going to show up? Is he going to play? There's always a question mark. How can you pay $45 million per year for 4 years to somebody? Hey, man, our Kyrie, our superstar, whether he's the first guy, the 1A guy, or the 1B guy, or the 2A, wherever you see him at, he's not going to play today because, you know what, the sky was falling today because he found out the world wasn't flat. Nah, man. Kyrie Irving and Dallas Mavericks, okay, on the floor, if we were paying PS5, man, we probably score 200 points, man. They're thinking that the way Jason Kidd is going to talk to Kyrie is somehow going to be different.
And it's different from Steve Nash?
Else ever talked to Kyrie. It's been from freaking, well, he didn't have any problem with Coach K. He just didn't play there either. In Duke.
Right.
He played 6 games at Duke. Come on, man. Follow the tea leaves. But he hit the shot in Cleveland. Who was there with him? LeBron James. Hey, man, if you can, I wouldn't, if I'm the Lakers, if Jeannie Buss is listening, and I know she is, Brandon, trade for Van Fleet and Taylor Siakam. There you go. Don't trade for, right, they didn't trade for Kyrie Irving anyway, but yeah, you can get more out of lesser players, man, than you can get out of Kyrie Irving.
You try and get rid of AD for that?
AD is another conversation probably for next year in the offseason.
Street clothes.
I don't think well, that's what it'll be. But a team will take that. A team will take that over Kyrie Irving. AD's not a distraction.
Right.
At all. I think the bright lights, big city, you know what? It's not for everybody, Brandon. It's not. Kobe Bryant was wired for that, man, because that's what Magic Johnson got drafted into it. So he, you know what I'm saying? He was a little kid. I mean, basically like 20 years old, he got drafted into it. LeBron James warped himself into it.
Yep.
Everybody's not built for that.
Let me ask you this.
Maybe he should stay in New Orleans. He should have stayed in New Orleans.
What with the Nets and the Kevin Durant situation now? Durant met with management about a possible trade for himself. There's been talks about the Celtics are interested in getting Durant. Obviously, Phoenix and Miami are still a couple names. I don't know what his contract is left. I felt like he
signed up. He got like 2.5 more years.
Right? I thought he did. Give me a second. I'm loading it up right now as we speak. Kevin Durant.
He had the one off year. That everybody kind of says, "Oh, well."
He signed a 4-year, $194 million deal recently in August of 21. He's got officially 1, 2, 3 more years in Brooklyn. So, and that money goes up to 46, 49, and 53. He'll be 37 years old. 37 years old, making $53 million. In 25, 26.
Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors to play with Kyrie Irving. And James Harden.
Don't get me started on Harden. He got a little whiny on it, not making the All-Star team, and that it's like, dude, you did. People make it, people don't make it. You made it last year, James, and there's people that should have made it over you last year. So,
right.
There's always going to be people, but so.
Hard. Well, he feels like he's in shape this year.
Can't hear you, John. You're away from your mic.
I'm sorry. He feels like he's in shape this year.
He is. He's Slim Harden. We told Justin Fox that. Slim Harden. Who is the? And I asked you this. I had to look him up. What is up with this Cam Thomas? That's just blowing up in Brooklyn right now, averaging 40-something a game. Was Kyrie Irving the issue?
Are they trying to? That's weird, man. And I know he came into the league hurt because he went to LSU, I thought.
Yes.
Or one of the SEC schools. But yeah, he came in hurt. He was on that team that made that run. What was that? 2018? 2019 maybe.
Yep.
No, man, he's a ball of fire. How many 40-point games in a row?
Like 4.
But like Kevin Durant doesn't look at that and like say, hey man, I can win with that. But you can't win with Ben Simmons.
Well, John, he takes a lot of. I watched his last 2 games because I've had some bets going on, but he takes some shots that. I mean, he's playing wild, out of control on some of his shots. I mean, he's got a good stroke, but.
Right, that's what I remember. Yeah, right, and he can get to the line.
Right. Yeah.
Well, it's a possibility that they're also kind of hamstringed by the fact that ain't nobody gonna trade for Ben Simmons. Nobody's trading for that, Brandon. They are hampered by his 80. He's got like $80 more million left on his contract, and they're not gonna. There's no team is in the business of buying out $80 million players.
Right.
You know, so they're kind of hamstrung by that. If somebody would like Phoenix, why would that new ownership trade for Kevin Durant?
Yeah, I mean,
you see what I'm saying? Like a lot of miles on that. And then I had a lot of people chime in. Golden State, like again, Golden State is kind of up and down. Again, why would they? He left us. Why would they trade for that?
They take him back. Curry said he'd take him back. Of course you would. Justin Fox said Cam's not dropping 40 when KD comes back. His shot selection is bad and is a small 2 guard. Yeah, that's what I saw out there. That's what I saw. John, they blew a 9-point lead with 2.5 minutes to go the other night. Thank God, because I had the team they were playing. I think it was Phoenix. Does that sound right? I think they were playing Phoenix, and they were and they had a huge comeback against them. But yeah, you look at the contracts: 42 for Durant, 35 for Ben, 18 for Dinwiddie, 18 for Harris, 12 for Finney-Smith. Oh, it's going to look rough if they don't figure out. They're free agents, and next year, TJ. Okay, where's TJ Warren been, John? TJ Warren, Seth Curry.
Oh man.
TJ Warren.
Everybody's in the math unit, huh?
Oh.
Everybody's collecting checks.
TJ Warren
Part-time
played
players,
26 minutes or 26 games, 18 minutes, averaging 9 points a game. That's it.
Good.
That's pretty good.
For a guy that can score 50, that's pretty good.
Right. Steph Curry noted he's out till after the All-Star break before he'll make his return from injury. I think it's going to be – they're probably going to take their time with him. And just as long as they get to the playoffs, which they will be, I think they'll take their time with him, bringing him back. They've got a good squad. I still love their staff. I think even Jordan Poole in there, DiVincenzo's done well. Moody's had his moments in there with that team. So I think they're fine. I just don't think you're going to get – when it gets playoff time, you're going to have to get that extra step from Clay, because I don't think, and I could be wrong, I don't think we're going to get the same performance we got from. I don't think we're going to get the same performance we got from Wiggins last year in the playoffs this year. I just don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, he kind of took a little step back, and I think that's from lack of trying. What we wanted to see was more Jonathan Kuminga progression, like what we seen when we what I mean by we. In the G League, man, Brandon, he killed it in the G. Like, you would have thought he was Kevin Durant, right?
Right.
On the rise. But again, they don't necessarily get all the they don't get all the shots that they get that he got once got in the G League. So he's probably on a shot count. Clay's still up here stroking it. You know what I mean? So they just gotta make sure Clay's legs can, get to, May, June. Right? And Jordan Poole, they got enough. I can't be sorry for the Golden State Warriors. I can't, man. They the champs, man. This is a dynasty that they in. I think ain't Draymond a free agent at the end of the season?
Yes. I was just looking at the free agency list. It's decent.
Yeah, they're not trying to burn it up, go 73-9 again. I know it's not mathematically, we can't do that, but they're not trying to. I mean, they're just trying to get to the okay. They want Memphis. Let's go again. Seven more rounds. You know what I mean? Or whoever. Portland can't beat. I mean, Portland makes the freaking playoffs this year. The best team right now in the West is Denver.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Both of these guys are free agents after this season. Would you, and their age, it's a 5-year age difference, so maybe you will. It's something to think about. Contracts are fairly the same right now for them, but would you pass on re-signing Draymond Green and sign Jeremy Grant?
Sign Draymond Green.
No. Would you pass on re-signing Draymond and bring in Jeremy Grant?
Man. Nah, no outsiders. They all, if they can't get a deal, and I think they will. I don't know what it's gonna look like though. But if they can't get a deal, then we're not bringing in like Jeremy. They'll just bring in. I think they'll just draft another guy or somebody else to just saying, "I'll come off that bench." You know what I mean? But they're not no outsider like that.
You ready? Couple things. I could see Golden State trying to bolster that backcourt, or not backcourt, that the front half of their front court. Be watching. He's a free agent at the end of this year, and there's word that he could get bought out right here at the trade deadline. But if you're trying to make a stretch run and you're going to need bigs to do it, just for bodies and be able to lend a hand, he's shown small stretches, but Kevin Love, I can see him being out there in Golden State just as a rotational guy.
Oh, wow.
So,
we will see.
Yeah, man, you look at here, your free agents, obviously Russ, Middleton, Harden, Kyrie, Porzingis, Kevin Love, D'Angelo Russell, Vucevic, Draymond, Van Vliet. So if the Lakers want to go get Van Vliet at the end of the year, he's a free agent. Harrison Barnes, Jeremy Grant, Gary Trent, Will Barton, Christian Wood, Kyle Kuzma. It kind of falls off once you get a little bit down. Your boy from Memphis, crazy boy, Dylan Brooks, free agent. So there's plenty of talent out there to look at for your next year. I think we'll have a semi-active trade deadline tomorrow. I really do. I think the stuff could be starting fairly early. Luckily, I'll be able to pay attention to it and kind of go from there, and we'll kind of see we'll see what happens. We've got Justin says I would pass on signing Draymond, but Grant would not fill the role that they need. So, okay, yeah, I just thought it interesting. 5 years younger. You're not going to sign. Draymond's 33 years old. You're not going to sign him to a big, massive contract. I mean, if you did, it'd probably be for less. If you got him to do that, but
right, that's what I'm saying. But
he's probably thinking, what, he's 33, so he's thinking at least maybe 2 contracts left to try to cash in on some money. One big one and maybe a small one to finish him off. I don't know.
I mean, the neighbors to the south might come and call him.
Oh yeah, I mean, apparently he's boys with LeBron now, so who knows?
And Magic Johnson is a Michigan State graduate. Yeah, I love that.
Don't get me started on Magic. Magic and his tweets. Don't get me started. All right, we got to take a call real quick. D-Cot, what's going on?
Hey, fellas, I'm sorry for being so late. I had some stuff to do. I came on the tail end of you all talking about tomorrow's trade deadline. I don't know if we're going to be very active at all tomorrow, man, because I think there's still a lot of uncertainty with what's going on in the league right now. And I think people are saying, hey, I'm not going to overpay for this, similar to what Minnesota did for Gobert, and then obviously, what they did with Kyrie the other day. So I'm on the opposite side of that, Brandon. I don't think there's going to be a lot of movement at all. Maybe 1 or 2 here with some ancillary stuff, but definitely not anything that moves the needle. I just think there's a lot of fear right now of what's going on. I think there's a lot of teams that think they can win it, but I don't think one player that's available is going to put you over the top, right? So I think it's going to be internal stuff, and we'll see what happens. But hopefully my Pacers sit still, right? That's my hope. I hope there's nothing that they need to do this winter that's going to put them over the top. Let's see what happens in the summertime. That's my thought on that. I know that you guys are talking about, of course, everyone else's team, but I don't really care about the Pacers. But I just don't see them doing much tomorrow, and we float into a 34, 35 win season, maybe a little more, and let's see what happens in the draft.
John?
The Pacers? I'm just saying, man, all those draft picks they got coming from Boston, or I think there's another one coming from somewhere else, but it's out of Cleveland. Mm-hmm. Like, man,
they literally have 4 picks because they also have the first round pick or the first pick of the second round. So basically 4 picks in 16.
Right.
Top 33.
Yeah.
Top 33, I think.
So you bring in three more new guys, young guys?
No, maybe you trade them in the off season.
No,
Summertime. You can't do it now because you don't know what the market's going to bring, right? You don't know who's going to be upset. There's a rumor, and it's only a rumor, that OG asked Halliburton to, hey, trade for me. I don't know how true that is. OG being an IU guy, potentially there may be something there to it, but I don't know. I would like to see OG in the Pacers lineup. That he'd be a definite, upgrade. But what do you have to give up? You give up Duarte and maybe Boston's pick and maybe Cleveland's pick, but you got to keep your lottery pick, man. You cannot, because that could be anywhere from obviously 1 to 13, but we hope it's a top 7 pick.
D-Cot.
I think I told you guys about it. Yeah.
I told him earlier when we were talking, because I said you have to just think of it like a expansion draft where you have to there's 4 players you can't save. And I'm not talking about the Kendall Browns and that type on the Pacers at all, or the Terry Taylors, but 4 players you can't save. The 4 I said that you look at dealing: Chris Duarte, Daniel Theis, Goga, and this may shock you. The Pacers will not get rid of TJ McConnell because you don't want it to disrupt the locker room like the previous ones of Danny Granger. That screwed up the locker room. And then when they brought in Andrew
Oh,
Bynum, that screwed up Roy Hibbert. So that screwed up that momentum.
Yeah.
So I actually have
And
Aaron
listen,
Nesmith.
you're right.
Aaron Nesmith's value is so high right now. I think you can get good value with Aaron Nesmith and a couple draft picks.
I'll agree. I also agree with McConnell. I'm just saying McConnell is not a 26-minute a night player. He's
Brandon,
a
you
big
forget,
player.
man. You forget, man. He don't like McConnell.
I know he don't.
Well, no. I don't know. Listen, I'm a Pacer fan, and I care about what's best for the Pacers. McConnell is not best in the starting lineup for the Pacers. He's a good player. He's a scrappy player, but he's not a big minute player. You get him in spurts.
What's your thought?
You know,
Well, they ain't necessarily
18
ready to
minutes.
turn over. They ain't ready to turn over starting duties to Nimhart.
no,
Not just yet.
but you got
Heck,
Buddy.
he don't
He's got
even-
2 years, right? So
Man, get
there's
Buddy
no rush.
Hill. Get Buddy Hill up out of here. Get some more picks for Buddy Hill.
But you gotta have something. Listen, Jonathan, you gotta have something specific. You sound like Reggie, man. Get him out of here. Well, for what though, right? So I think
don't
that
sound
what
like
he
Reggie.
does.
I don't
Oh,
You
That's
got
good, I
you
like
in
that.
it? What are you lying
You
about?
know? But listen, but on serious, but serious, look.
he's fooling now.
This is my problem, though, right? We have so many options, and I'm thinking. You all saw my tweet. I give Pritchard his due, man. The moves he's made in the last summertime through this year have been really awesome, man. Let's just see what happens this summer, because you got, like you said, like Brandon said, 4 picks in the top 33. We don't need 4 rookies, okay? I'll take one.
The only thing they really need to improve, the Pacers, is their rebounding. I'm not gonna pick on Miles, right? I should, but I'm not going to right now. But they need to improve their overall rebounding. It can't be Miles anyway. Case in point, as I got into it with Reggie on Twitter myself, about Miles in the Cleveland game. Miles had a good game against Cleveland Cavaliers. He just had his hands full with their centers. You know what I mean? He can't be, and this is in his defense, he can't be the end-all defensive person.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
No, we talked about that. He's not your anchor.
Right.
He's not your anchor.
Well, no,
I agree with it. I agree with
he's
that.
the
No,
anchor. But
what I mean by that,
if you ask Miles Turner to shoot threes and hit mid-rangers, like some of the Jonathan Birdsong, like, dude, he can't get the rebounds because it's not gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? So like, who else? When it was with him and Sabonis used to get the rebounds. Sabonis was a little bit defensive liability, a little more, more so. But
more
nobody
than
else.
a little bit. More than a little bit.
Small, go ahead. When they go too small, it stays small. When Carlisle makes them go too small, like, that's what happens. We're getting killed. I'm like, what the hell? Don't get the board up. Like, man, looking like, Otis Thorpe on it. You know what I mean?
No, you didn't bring the Otis Thorpe reference, did you? Come on.
He did.
That's
he
nice.
did.
Hey, listen, you better slow down, man. Otis Thorpe is that dude, man. That dude.
No.
I can bore you to death. I can bore you to death about Otis Thorpe in the Houston.
We're on the same page, man. We're on the same page. Let's go back to Kansas
Otis
City.
Thorpe,
We're on the same page.
Buck Williams. I know the power.
All right, John. We don't need to go back to the fucking ABA.
But we're going back to the Pacers.
You better. Hold on, Brandon. That's not the ABA first of all.
I know it's not.
Go ahead.
But listen, to that point, I think we all agree. We got 4 picks in the first 33. We'll take 1 rookie. I don't want to take 4 rookies. So I think they're going to do something in the summer around Duarte, the big stiff that's allergic to paint, Goga. I think there's going to be some type of combination in that neighborhood, because you have to. You got too many assets, and you got too much flexibility. Look at the cap space they've got, right? Yeah, I know what they did with Miles. I asked the question, Pritchard. He never responded on how that money's divvied up. I'm really curious as to how that $17 million affects those players who were there when we were under the threshold of the 41st game. So I'm gonna continue to ask and find out. I may reach out to Well, maybe JMV may know.
Dude,
He's been
reach out to Jeremiah
involved a lot.
Johnson, see what he says with it.
JJ, I can do JJ.
Hey,
good point.
D-Cot, I got something for you.
Sure.
I don't know what your units are you bet with. Okay, I don't know what one unit qualifies for you or whatnot, but I don't know how my one unit and your one unit compare. But I've got something tonight that I've got 4 units on.
Uh-oh.
Today is Klay Thompson's birthday. Okay. Klay Thompson, Hooper.
Okay.
It's his birthday tonight, or today was. His over-under right now on DraftKings is 30.5 points, rebounds, and assists combined. 30.5.
Oh.
Points, rebounds, and assists. You would think, man, it's Klay's birthday. He's going to go out. He's going to shell out. Big games on his birthday. 30.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Easy, right? Boom, easy.
Right.
D-Cot, his last 10 years, the last 10 years he's played on his birthday,
20.
He hasn't been above 30.5 ever. He's 0 for 10.
Oh, wow. And he's not having the best season. So what you're telling me is go cash out my 401k and make it happen.
He hasn't been over 26 combined points, rebounds, and assists on his birthday in his 10 attempts.
Oh, man. I would take that all day, especially the way he's been playing this year and what's going on there in Golden State. I think Steph, but Steph is out, right?
Yep. I'm telling you. I'm putting it on tonight. Cash it out.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. So with that said, and all those 10 games, was Steph playing?
Steph played in 7 of the 10.
Oh, so you've done your homework. You got to shoot me that then. So I'll follow what you're saying. I got you.
I'm not going to steer you wrong, man. I think it's a great stat line. I think it's a great thing. And I heard somebody else say on a podcast. I was listening to JJ Redick's podcast, and he's saying if you get an NBA player that plays, they have their game after their birthday, take the unders. And he says the stats are crazy because everybody in the NBA, all the players know that player is going to play like shit because they just been out partying all night the night before for their birthday.
Right.
So I just thought it was interesting. Clay's is 30.5. He hasn't hit over 30.5 points, rebounds, and assists in a game on his birthday in 10 years. He hasn't been higher than 25.5. Now, maybe tonight he'll do it, and damn, it is what it is. But I'm going to go off of stats. I'm going to go off of trends. I'm taking the under tonight.
Yeah. Well, are you going DraftKings or
DraftKings Sportsbook under 30.5 combined points, rebounds, and assists. It's minus 110.
Okay.
Overs minus 120. I mean, come on.
Okay. Yeah,
get good value.
Yeah, good stuff. So I know I want to talk NIL, but I don't want to do that because that goes down a rabbit hole. But next week I definitely want to talk NIL. You see the kid that was committed. I think it was committed to Florida. The quarterback, it was $13 million is what was projected out that he was looking to get, and that's why he decommitted. $13 million. The kid, I think he left. He was going to go. What's it? I think he's going. Back to Miami. The quarterback, I forget his name, but it's $13 million. Is what, and they broke it down by year: freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior. Yeah, and I'll send it to you guys because I've been following this stuff like crazy, right?
All is Ronnie's been offered like 7.5. Arch Manning's up to $4 million. Like this is like why go? They ain't going to go pro for what?
Can you imagine how much money was in those brown bags prior to 2 years ago?
Right.
If they're giving
I don't think they was millions. I don't think they was getting millions.
No, not at all. That's my point. The point is the NCAA is now taking a hit. Well, not the NCAA, but somebody's taking a hit. They were getting them on the cheap, under the table.
Man, Taylor Williams next year is gonna get $3 million.
Man, and he's still gonna come out.
He's gonna make more money than Sam Ellinger.
Yeah. Well, right. Good point. So I'll send you that information. I've got it.
Okay.
I'll get it. I'll send it to you. It's good stuff. Then last thing I want to share with you guys, we have our new hire class every week, the first Monday of every month, right? I'm doing my interview with the employees and all that stuff like that, whatever, right? Got a guy there, looks like he's a trucker, right? He's got this shirt on that says Roy. So we introduce himself. He says, "Yeah, I'm a this, and this." And he says, "Oh, by the way, I do professional wrestling in Muncie. I go by the name of Roy." And I had him do his bit. He's a tag team champion. I'm gonna get him. Oh man, I've never met the guy, right? So I'm hyped, right? So and people were saying, well, why are you so hyped? I said, you don't understand. It's wrestling, right? So
right.
I'm gonna see if I can get his information, man, and get it over to you guys. He's doing some circuits in Muncie, in the Muncie area, is where he's at.
Muncie wrestling. Oh my goodness,
yeah. It's Ball State, baby. So that's what hit me, right? All I thought about were you all. So I'll make sure I get his.
Does he just go as Roy, or we got? Just tell me he goes at least by Big Roy. I think the guy goes like Big Roy.
It's like they got a tag team, and he says the guy, I forget the guy's name, his partner. He said, and this is Roy, and he has a little jacket that says he's got to go by Roy, and so. One of my managers said, "Well, can you do your promo?" And he did a little quick promo for us, man. It was pretty cool.
Okay.
So I'll get his information to you all, man. Again, sorry I called so late, man. But Johnson, I'll send that NIL to you guys. It's fascinating to me. I gotta admit, man. The offensive lineman that was starting last year for Bama that went to TCU got a record got almost. I want to say it was beyond six figures. I want to say almost $2 million as an offensive guard. Yeah. Oh, but yeah, I'm fascinated by this thing, and I love it, man, because a lot of these players, this is the money they're going to get. They're not going to get drafted.
Everybody going to the next level. Absolutely.
So get everything you can, man. I'll send that stuff to you guys. I'll keep listening to the show. Appreciate y'all. I'll definitely make sure I get Mr. Roy to you guys for sure.
Sounds good. Thanks,
Absolutely.
Deacon.
Right on, Deacon.
All right, fellas.
John, speaking of, yeah, I heard this past weekend, I saw it on TikTok, NWA had an event in Knoxville, Tennessee. Shout out Tennessee, Jerry Lawler, get well after having a serious stroke. But this country guy came on here, John, and he gave this promo.
Oh yeah.
Did you see that big guy with the mullet?
I watched NWA.
If you come back into the studio.
Let me get you there. Let me find this promo because it was one of the greatest things ever.
We went from talking basketball and then the National Wrestling Alliance.
Here we go.
You want me to get him on the show?
Let me play. I would love to have this guy. He's got a tuxedo T-shirt on, fanny pack, boots, and a mullet. Here was his promo. His promo killed it.
Those cameras you got on, but zoom in real quick. See that right there is the largest arm in Blount County. I don't know how big those TVs you got in the house are, but darling, pull it back down because I got two of them. Knoxville, Tennessee, January 31st. The Knoxville Convention Center, Daddy. The NWA. Get your first.
Knoxville, Tennessee Convention Center. Daddy, the NWA. Get your mama out of the field. Get your daddy out of the kitchen. Because the National Wrestling Alliance is what y'all been missing. What a guy. We got to get him on.
You know Tyrus is the champ.
Come on now.
He is.
I know. Come on now.
Well, I'll reach out to the NWA and see what we can get. See who we can connect with. For sure.
I mean, we got to. By the way, I just saw that. Can you confirm to me what is this is bad for me? Is Bad News Brown still alive?
Bad News Brown, I do believe, is still alive.
Okay. I was just curious. His promo, wrestling promo came up, and then there's a Bad News Brown promo that he did in 1988 that's showing on my screen. So, anyways,
great little feud with one of your favorites, man, Bret Hart. That's about the only.
He did. I know. He threw him out of that battle royal, and wasn't too happy with that. By the way, great. We'll finish on wrestling real quick on this. Great promo Monday night. Paul Heyman, Cody Rhodes. It got very personal.
It's the promo that if you don't know what's real or what's fake.
Yep.
That's why it's great. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of things they said were real. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. So that was awesome. John, let's dive in. The NFL, the football. Let's Super Bowl. Oh, gotta watch what I say. The big game. The big game can't get sued by the NFL. No cease and desist from them. The big game, the Super Bowl this weekend. Chiefs, Eagles. John, the line now is showing Eagles -1.5. Over under is set at 51. I got the Eagles at +1, and the over under of 48 when the first spread came out. I still like the Eagles, John. I know we talked about it last week. I still like the Eagles. I think their run game is better than Kansas City. I think their defensive line and offensive line is better. They're going to get Patty Mahomes to run around. He says his ankle's in a better spot, but I still think the Eagles, and you can call me stupid because the other side of my brain is telling me, dude, you telling me that you're going to get plus the points, plus money on future Hall of Famer Patty Mahomes, to quote you, and not take it? You got to be an idiot. But I just feel like it's the Eagles' year. They've got the quality. They've got the team for it. Barring any crazy, stupid injuries, I think it's theirs. Their wide receivers got to show up, too. They got to show out.
Mm-hmm. Brandon, who can you really root against? I know we're talking about betting who we think is going to win, but who can you really root against from a quarterback standpoint? You know what I'm saying? There's some other. I mean, I'll even say from a team standpoint, who can you really root against in this game? The Eagles are here. You know what I'm saying? Nick Sirianni, he's got axe to grind. You know what I'm saying? Because he got fired by Andy Reid 7 years ago. You know he's passionate about his football, especially after the things he said about Frank Reich. After, right. You know what I'm saying, that win that they had here, a narrow win for them. I know last week I said the Philadelphia Eagles. I know 2 weeks, Patrick Mahomes, your ankle feels a whole lot better, man. If you ain't been, you know what I'm saying, and have to roll on it for like 2 weeks. But on the flip side, Jalen Hurts' shoulder's better too, right?
Right.
The last time we saw the Phillies, they looked like the better team. You know what I'm saying? Uh-oh. Breaking news, Brandon. Breaking news.
Breaking news from the NBA. And we got the video going, the breaking news video. Breaking news out of the National Basketball Association. The loss per Adrian Wojnarowski. The Lakers are finalizing a deal to land Minnesota's D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, and Jared Vanderbilt in a trade including Mike Conley and picks to the Timberwolves, and Russell Westbrook in a lightly protected 2027 LA first-round pick to the Utah Jazz. It is likely that the Jazz will buy out Russell Westbrook, who will become a free agent. Once again, breaking news, D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, Jared Vanderbilt, in a trade, including Mike Conley and picks to the T-Wolves. Russell Westbrook will be going to the Jazz. The Lakers will get their guys. Your thoughts, John?
It ain't the sexy pick, but it's the right move for right now. LeBron James and Anthony Davis do not need another superstar to help them. The age of the big. I mean, like the super team. It's not I don't say super team. You still need to have dirty work guys. You still need to have guys that can get to the free throw line. Still need guys that can set screens. You need guys that want an offensive rebound while the superstar is shooting. You know what I mean? And they're getting. I know Vanderbilt's been passed around. You know what I'm saying, a couple times, right? But you know what I'm saying, because it hasn't necessarily quite hit the level of what they kind of thought when he left college. That if anybody remembers him being at Texas Tech. But like, no, man, they need some reserves, man. They need some young guys that can get up and down the court and help this other team that's just like, you know what I'm saying, 2 or 3 games out of the play-in, get them back on track. So you just kind of feel for Russell Westbrook. I know he can be fiery. I know he's kind of taken on a villainous role last couple seasons, you know what I'm saying, for whatever. And, you know, he's combative with the media. He's combative with the fans. He's combative with his coach. He's combative. But like I said, you kind of feel for Russell Westbrook because he got caught up in listening to media people saying he had to be here, he had to be there, he had to win this, he had to win that. If he wasn't to be a Hall of Famer, and that's not true. He should have never left Oklahoma City Thunder. And then because he did, okay, it didn't necessarily look great in Houston, but you know, Brandon, it wasn't terrible in Washington either.
Right.
So, you know, I hope he finds his way maybe back to the Washington Wizards, or maybe somehow, I don't know if it's going to happen with the Thunder, but I hope he finds, you know what I'm saying, a team. But, you know, it's been an oil-and-water mix with Russell Westbrook and LeBron James. Now it's over. D'Angelo Russell, like I said, they kind of know him prior to Minnesota. It's just another kind of mistake that they kind of like, dude, like now you're correcting mistakes from your Rudy Gobert trade. Now you're correcting mistakes of, you know what I'm saying, maybe
Is that
you know, you know what I'm saying, going
right.
all chips in on different guys, and you shouldn't have went in. You know, so
that's the Malik Beasley,
Minnesota
right? That was with Larissa Pippen at one point.
and Pippen's son plays for the G League affiliate.
Yeah. Also in the deal, Juan Toscano Anderson and Damian Jones to the Jazz. One of my favorites back in the draft, Nickeil Alexander-Walker goes to the Timberwolves as well. So Minnesota is going to get the 2024 lesser of the Washington-Memphis second-round pick and the 2025-26 second-round picks via Utah. Russell is in the last year of his contract. He is extension eligible up until June 30th of a max of 2 years, $67.5 million. Beasley and Vanderbilt will have a team option for next year for the Lakers. So full trade, D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, and Jared Vanderbilt go to the Lakers. Westbrook and a first-round pick go to Utah. The T-Wolves get Mike Conley and a second-round pick. Now, if only our boy can get the hell out of Houston, Eric Gordon, and get to a team that really could use him. So hopefully tomorrow's the day for Eric Gordon, and that'll happen. But, John,
right,
it never fails, my man. During NBA trade deadline area, Crossroads Sports, we like to break some news. So
right.
There's our
They
news.
blew up our football section.
It did. So let's continue.
Maybe we need to take a station identification? Or
we'll do that momentarily. Let me finish up a couple things here.
Okay.
Because I'm going to get you fired right back up in a second. Madden, the video game Madden did predict the Eagles to beat the Chiefs. So that'll be interesting to see. The Raiders have granted permission for Derek Carr to meet with the Saints to tour the facility. So maybe we'll see Derek Carr going down to New Orleans. There's been chatter that the Colts may go after and bring in Jameis Winston. I don't know about.
To be the backup?
Yeah, exactly. I'm not sure my thoughts are on that. And then the one, John, that's going to get you fired up that I can't wait to hear, and then we'll go to break after that so you can calm yourself back down is, John, Aaron Rodgers says he's not sure what he wants to do yet. He's going to have to take some time. In fact, he's going to decide his future when he goes on his 4-day, quote, darkness retreat.
Yeah, man, come on back, man. I'll have the heat for Aaron Rodgers when we come back.
All right, that what we got there, people call is a teaser in our field zone. We'll be back after these messages.
You've changed thousands of diapers, cut off hundreds of crusts, played hours of peekaboo and duck goose because you'd do anything for your kids. That's why it's so important to protect them with life insurance from State Farm. State Farm insurance agent Scott K. Nichols will help make it easy and affordable to help protect your family no matter what the future holds. Because for the people you do anything for, life insurance could mean everything. Call State Farm agent Scott K. Nichols in Indianapolis today at 317-243-3509. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
We also want to thank our sponsor, Maverick Custom Motorsports, where ideas are created and dreams are born. Specialized in custom motorcycles, boats, slingshots, Jeeps, and trucks, offering pickups, deliveries, and shipping worldwide. Check them out today, MavericksCustomMotorsports.com. Let them know Crossroads Sports sent you. Use the discount code Crossroads on checkout. You'll get yourself a nice little discount there. But check them out again, MavericksCustomMotorsports.com for all your needs.
Crossroads Sports would like to thank Wiseman Logistics. Their team is dedicated to the successful delivery of your packages. Services, domestic or commercial, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Call 877-744-6212 to set up your delivery. Thanks, Wiseman.
This is Coach Chris Artis, and you're listening to the Crossroads Sports Radio.
All right, and we are back. Thank you, Coach Artis. Shout out Incarnate Word. John, Aaron Rodgers, going to go on sabbatical for 4 days to figure out what the hell he wants to do. Sauce Gardner wants him out there in New York Jets land. What do we think of Aaron Rodgers?
Not too much, man. If I'm the Green Bay Packers, I'm thinking about moving on. We gave that dude, I'm being the Green Bay Packers right now. We gave that dude 2 years ago $150 million. $40 million guaranteed. If anybody wants to fact check me, go for it. $40 million guaranteed. You don't know what you want to do. You don't know if you want to play after the piss poor season you just turned into. Like, you doing us a favor? I get it. We got Jordan Love, but you know what? You can walk away. It'll hurt in the future. It'll hurt in immediacy. It'll hurt if Aaron Rodgers walk away from the Green Bay Packers. He still can go out there and win 6-7 games. I don't know if he can still go out there and win the NFC North anymore. He remember how he said, "Oh, we're gonna go up to Detroit, then we're gonna go out of the team in Chicago." Now he still owns the Bears. I get that, but like next year is gonna be a different Chicago Bears team, and the following year after that is gonna be a different Chicago Bears team. So like, man, Aaron Rodgers is gonna say all these things, man. He's a smart man. Man, he kind of just pushing his way out of town. It's gonna make the team look bad if they trade him, right? It's gonna make the team look bad if they trade him. But they gave him his money. Dude, if somebody wants to purchase that contract from them, I say by all means necessary, get it. Like that's bad culture right there. He called out the teammates, the new teammates that he's had, instead of like, you know what I'm saying, I don't know, helping them. I'm not saying help them develop. Like, dude, this is the NFL. This is you never heard Tom Brady. It's all. I'm not saying Tom Brady never cuts out no, you know what I'm saying, or got mad, but it's like he usually takes it out on the iPad. It's usually not in the press that these receivers need to start catching. I have very rarely heard that out of Tom Brady or any team that he's ever played for. And this is who Aaron Rodgers is compared to.
Right.
Man, look, I think he's cashed out, Brandon. I think he knows he can still play, but the $40 million is already guaranteed money plus all the other cash that he's already had, plus the Jeopardy money, plus all. Didn't he used to be a Stepway guy? He used to be a discount double check. But when's the last time we've heard that? You know what I'm saying? So he's got a lot of cachet.
Prior to his
you know
COVID vaccine stuff.
Oh yeah, sure, right. But listen, he's talking about winning MVP. Like fans of the Cheesehead fans, he's talking about winning MVP. He ain't talking about winning the North. He's not talking about going to the Super Bowl. He choked that. When was that Super Bowl? He choked it, Brandon? He choked that NFC Championship game.
Right.
Tom Brady. You say, man, LaFleur. I remember we had a heat discussion. It might have been like Crossroads Sports number 197. Double check me on that one later, Brandon. But like, listen, it was a little bit LaFleur, poor time clock management. Aaron Rodgers could have ran for glory, and he would have been sitting with at least another Super Bowl run. I don't know if he was going to win or not, beat Kansas City, but at least another Super Bowl run, and he didn't do it. He threw the pass out of somebody's hand.
Right.
Man, stop it. Aaron Rodgers, he's the biggest diva. That's Kyrie Irving. I don't know who's bigger. They need to go on their own TV show or something. Oh yeah. Overly, I get it. Extremely talented, but think their talent is bigger than the sport, the team.
Sounds like every NFL wide receiver.
Well, guess what? They don't control necessarily all the game. They can just control like when the quarterback throws to them,
right?
Or what, you know what I'm saying? But the leader of the team can't be saying, I don't know if I'm gonna go on my dick. Like, dude, I ain't saying hated Brett Favre. I thought he just liked the way Brett Favre did him or did the Packers. He's doing the exact same. He's doing it worse. This is like part 2. You know what I mean? Man, Aaron Rodgers, just go away. Just go away. Uh-oh. Somebody else been traded?
Now, just a little bit more information on the trade. The Lakers' 2027 first-round pick to the Jazz is protected 1-4. So if the Lakers end up tanking during the 2027, they'll get their pick back from Utah as long as it's 1-4. Secondly, regarding Russell Westbrook, it looks like, John, the Chicago Bulls are going to be the front runners for the buyout of Russell Westbrook, based on his previous playing days with Billy Donovan and playing with him and then excelling there at Oklahoma City when he played for him there. And then also the Bulls kind of looking for a playmaker, and it's probably a best fit for him. Miami had interest back in 2019, but that's been, 4 years ago. The Bulls need a playmaker. Billy Donovan's coached them. It's looking like right now that the Bulls are, unless something barring Westbrook wants, that the Bulls may be the front runner for Russell Westbrook.
Kind of makes sense, Brandon. Think about it. They got Dosulu, who's technically like a more offensive-minded guard.
Yep.
Right? Playing point guard. Lonzo Ball. It's not. We don't know. They don't know if Lonzo. We know he's not gonna play the rest of this season, right? Lonzo Ball and Russell Westbrook kind of got similar attributes. You know what I mean? Kind of hard. You know, say bricklayers when it comes to outside shooting. But can they run Billy Donovan's system? Absolutely, man. I knew somebody would come to Russell. You know what I mean? That skill set. You know, you just can't. And that passion for, you just got to know how to follow it, control it, put it in, and let it go. Put it in the right direction and let it go.
Right.
So yeah, Russell Westbrook on the Bulls, man. They'll love him in Chicago.
Switching over, John, from football. By the way, are you excited for Rihanna's halftime show?
We'll see what we can see, man. Hey, man, I watched that Grammy show with Sam Smith. Oh my goodness, man! I don't know what these people in Hollywood.
The devil.
That's exactly what it was. Oh my God.
I mean, about Beyonce, she was running late apparently, and she obviously the GOAT, but she was running late and stuck in LA traffic. So, John, let me ask you this: FanDuel's got the props up for Super Bowl halftime show. What do you think the favorite is right now for Rihanna's first song?
Nah. Oh, I can't sing it. What's my name? What's that one? The one with Drake.
Oh, I don't even know.
I don't know our songs by name. I just know them by
What's my name is plus 2,200, 22 to 1. So it's not that one. The number one song right now, leading.
Live your life.
It's not that one either. Is Don't Stop the Music as the first song.
There you go.
Please don't stop the music. Bum, bum.
Yeah, maybe
Stay.
So. I can see it.
Stay is number 2. Run This Town is number 3. Diamonds, number 4. And then number 6, number 5 at plus 9 is 9 to 1, which I wish it'd be the number one song she'd come out and play, would be Bitch Better Have My Money. That's the one I hope she would play first. But hey, secretly, and it won't probably be first, but Umbrella at plus 1,300. Something.
And at some point it'll be.
So Rude Boy plus 2,200. Her last song, the favorite for her last song is Diamonds, and then Run This Town. So we'll see. Yeah, they've got the list of songs that she'll play as odds as well. It's so crazy. Oh, here you go, John. Rihanna's hair color. What do we think Rihanna's hair color will be? Stop it. It's going to be black, right? It's minus 1,000 for it to be black, plus 600 for blonde, plus 900 for red, plus 1,000 for pink. So, dress color,
with pink, man.
black is minus 200. How about to make an appearance with Rihanna on stage? What's the heavy favorite? Jay-Z, minus 400. Calvin Harris,
Ooh, wow.
minus 175. Drake, minus 150. By the way, did you see Drake's commercial last night thanking LeBron?
I did not, man. Tell me about it.
Well, he said, he's doing his Drake thing. You know how Drake is. He does his thing, and from one Ohio kid, one Ohio guy to another. I'm here in Akron and all this, and then the stage behind it falls down, and he's like, "Nah, you caught me in a lie. I'm here at the club with," and he has like 8 or 9 girls behind him. He's like, "Hey, girls, say hi to LeBron." Like just wild. Your boy Neo plus 1,200 to show up with her. Eminem plus 300. Kanye plus 400.
Kanye West cannot get on TV. They're not going to allow that. Eminem was just there last year.
Right.
I wouldn't say him. Even though they got hit records together, but Jay-Z got straight. Yeah. Drake, yeah.
National anthem prop bets. Now it's Chris Stapleton, John. I don't know if you know who Chris Stapleton is.
Country music singer. What are you talking about?
Okay. I didn't know if you know his music or not. You know Tennessee Whiskey. Tennessee Whiskey. Yeah. He sings. He's a slow guy. He's a slow, soulful guy. The 2023 total opened up at 21.5 seconds. So that's 2 minutes and a half a second. Currently right now, John, it's at 119 and a half, just under 2 minutes at 1 minute, 59 seconds. And it's the over is minus 280. I may take the under. Maybe he'll switch it up a little bit and go a little quicker than kind of just letting it linger on. I won last year with Demi Lovato. I think it was Demi Lovato last year. So, but there's so many prop bets for this. The first to be shown during the anthem, Andy Reid or Nick Sirianni. And the same thing for quarterbacks. Patrick Mahomes is the favorite to be shown over Jalen Hurts first. The length of American Beautiful. What color is Chris Stapleton's hat? Crazy. Are there any words omitted in the anthem? It's just I love prop bets.
Oh my goodness.
When's the Bud Light commercial? Say what?
If anybody can at least see when's the Bud Light commercial?
It'll be number.
They're not a sponsor, dude.
Yeah, they are.
Spud McKenzie gonna be in it.
Spud McKenzie. I was thinking Duffman.
Oh my God.
Anyways, I love Super Bowl props. John, me and you will probably do a. Okay, well, Chris Haynes has something else to say with the breaking news. If we get it to play. Chris B. Haynes via Twitter says that the Clippers are very interested in adding Russell Westbrook to their team if the buyout occurs. Isn't that a loaded roster already? I don't think Paul George and Westbrook like each other.
I don't think they got no beef with one another, but like, man, what's his name? He don't want to play either, man. He's done. John Wall.
Oh.
So, he's done.
What?
John Wall call in. He's done.
Oh my.
John Wall, I've seen John Wall on more podcasts than I've seen him on the floor. John Wall call in.
Yeah, who was he calling out in that podcast? Who was he calling out?
Man, don't get me on, man. Dude, I'm not.
He was calling out Tyler Hansborough, Psycho T.
Yeah, it was on some college crap or whatever, man. But Russell ain't. I doubt he goes to the Clippers.
So
If
you would
he
have
is, he's really
Russ, Kawhi, Paul George, Reggie Jackson, Zubac. I mean, John Wall. There ain't enough basketball. I can't see Kawhi. Kawhi and Russell are so polar opposites. I can't see their games meshing together.
Yeah, that would just be. I don't know, man. The Clippers ain't. I mean, they just got to help. They got their guys, Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. They just got to get their guys on the floor for more than 3 or 4 games.
Right.
Time period.
Okay. All right. Well, hopefully no more breaking news, John. We'll switch it over to World College basketball. This past Saturday, the big game down in Bloomington, the Hoosiers beat Purdue. They were up big in the first half, 15-point lead at halftime, all the way up to 19. Purdue stormed back in the second half. Zach Edey had another huge game on his way for Player of the Year. Turnovers, the Purdue guards, freshman guards, looked like freshmen late. Turnovers killed the Boilermakers with 16 turnovers, and free throw shooting doomed them.
Right.
They were third in the Big Ten all season in free throw shooting. It was terrible for them there. They ended up losing by, I think it's 4 or 5 to the Hoosiers. Or no, 6, 66-60, I think it was. Lost by 5. They go up in 2 weeks up to West Lafayette. I'll be there for that game. I don't know if you're going to be able to be there or not, but looking forward to being up there and seeing that one. But what was your thoughts on the Purdue IU? New rankings came out. Boilermakers stayed number 1.
Right, that's crazy, Andy, man. They played. It's probably because they played their rival. It was a rivalry game, big time game.
And they came back.
They showed Sack. Yeah, they showed Sack, came back. Zach Edey is none that like who's closer than Player of the Year? Who's close to it? You couldn't name anybody.
Brandon Miller,
double, and he's shooting like 63% from the field. You know what I mean? So I got a feeling there'll be a lot of get back from Purdue. What you like about IU is that, man, you know what? I had heard some IU faithful kind of talking about after they beat Purdue, man, I'm just concerned that we've spending so much energy. I ain't talking about no fans. I'm talking about faithful. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? I'm so concerned.
Well, they finally beat Rutgers. Some would say last night's game was more important than the Purdue game.
Yeah, he was. Well, they had a hard time beating. They've had a hard time beating Rutgers the damn self. I don't think in 5 tries they beat Rutgers until after like last night.
Right.
But they were talking about I don't want to let down. I don't want to hear that. Like I watched so much like IU versus Purdue's history prior to that game, prior to that big time game. It ain't about for IU. They rushed the court. You forgot about that part, Brandon. You rushed the court on Purdue.
Oh, I didn't forget it. It's coming. Do you realize, John, that is the ultimate sign of respect that you feel beating Purdue is so crazy. Listen,
Reef is coming out, y'all.
Listen, that you beat Purdue. That and Jay Query even said it the perfect. It's such a compliment that you feel like beating Purdue is an occasion where you need to storm the court. I'll tell you this: you won't ever see anybody storm the court up at Purdue. They listen. They go into every game thinking of it. Even Trace Jackson Davis said in his press conference, that I wish we wouldn't have stormed the court because we expect to beat Purdue. We wanted to beat Purdue. It's not an upset. I mean, it wasn't even an upset. They were the favorites for the game. They were the favorites.
Right. And they played, and like the role players, the star player played amazing, right? He's a 2,000-point guy now, 1,000 rebound guy, Trace Jackson Davis. He's kind of worked his way into a draft position NBA first rounder, I think, by my assessment, Brandon. But he got a lot of work, man. There was a lot of hype, too. People were saying, man, can you believe Trace? I'm like, dude, what have they played in the tournament? IU is about playing Purdue. I mean, okay, let's go on the side. Purdue, I mean, what is everybody saying? Oh, man, if they win another Big Ten tournament, a Big Ten championship, it's just that they win another Big Ten championship. It's not enough. When is IU going to win a big – when is IU going to get back to that? You can't leapfrog – I mean, I guess you can. You can't leapfrog your conference championship and say we're going to win a national championship. You got to say we got to – you see what I'm saying? There's the steps of progression here. IU You know, God bless them, man. I'm like teams in the state, and that's not to shun Ball State, but both teams that are Power Fives in the state are winning and are going, you know what I'm saying, in a positive direction. IU needs to get, like, I need to see more. IU, I need to see win some games. If not, get to the Big Ten championship game. You're not winning the Big Ten season outright. That's signed up. Purdue won that already. You know what I mean? But they gotta get some wins. It's not that they gotta get wins, because I think they're in the tournament right now. I think if everything stopped right now, they'd be like, what, an 8 seed?
5.
Maybe, Brandon?
5 seed.
Oh, God. Oh, I passed out.
Yeah, they're a 5 seed.
Okay. Win the Big Ten tournament, buddy. And that 5 probably turns into what, a 3? Maybe? I don't know. But that would be something, a crowning moment. Like, man, I get it, man. Trey that individual accomplishments are great. We came to IU to win championships, and there's nothing behind your name that says that right now. Case closed, Brandon. Zach Edey got championships, right? You know what I'm saying? This team, except for the freshmen, they got championships, right? The Big Ten championship, regular season championship, is kind of, they've got if they win 2 more games, it's theirs.
Yeah.
And
it's
I don't know, what's the score right now? An hour, or is that later game?
Purdue and Iowa play tomorrow.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I think I'm actually going to that game tomorrow night. So,
man.
Got to pick up the creds, man. Got to pick up the creds. That way I'm prepared for the IU game in a couple weeks. My thoughts, John, listen, I even told Nick Peterson, friend of the program, who's a big IU fan, he even said, please don't rush the court, but we've got so many young college kids there that they don't think of it like that, and it's the ultimate. It is the ultimate. Like, we think Purdue is worthy enough that we oh my God, we beat them. We need to storm the court. You know, like, it is what it is. Hey, I take it as a compliment, and I figured, listen, Purdue IU, they're going to split. I know Purdue, IU beat them last year down there, and Purdue is probably going to beat them by, I'm going to say 15 up in West Lafayette on Senior Day in a couple weeks. But these teams, you know, it was good to see 2 teams who are both good, who are both going to be going to the tournament, playing well. And we've missed that for a really long time. I thought it lived up to its hype with Trace Jackson Davis and Zach Edey. My concern, John, and you can see the IU faithful was getting a little concerned when it got quiet with Purdue was coming back. Trace Jackson Davis didn't score a single point in the final 10 minutes of the ball game. That's concerning.
Absolutely.
That's very concerning.
Especially with the streaky shooting they got, or streaky scoring they have.
Right.
They're not necessarily the strongest. Well, they defend pretty well now. I can't take that away. So
they do.
But they're not necessarily the strongest 3-point shooters on the road. They're not necessarily the strongest 3-point shooter team in the damn self. So that is concerning because what's his name? Trapino. I know exactly his name, man. It doesn't look like that. Last night it looked like, or a couple nights ago, it looked like, oh my goodness, where's this kid been at? Right. He doesn't play like that every night. You know what I'm saying? Miller Kopp. Like, dude, couldn't buy a bucket till he got back home against Purdue. So they got a lot of, like I said before, they got a lot of people that helped out. It is concerning what you say because as they go into tournament mode, or you know what I'm saying, or shift into tournament mode, like Trey Jackson, you got to have better, you got to advance. And this is for Purdue as well. You got to have consistent secondary scoring. And on the other side of that equation, Brandon, Mason Gillis, who had like 29, maybe he had like 6-7 threes.
Yeah.
The game before, you know what I'm saying, against Penn State, he had 5 points against IU. Come on, Mason, we needed you, bro.
Purdue.
And he wasn't there.
IU plays at Michigan Saturday. We'll see what we get out of that game. I will say this, Purdue, and it was somebody texted it to me that it always sucks losing to your rival, but the last 3 number 1 teams, John, that have lost as the number 1 team in Assembly Hall, all 3 of those teams also went to the Final Four. and all three of those teams won the national championship. Just saying, not saying, hey, just saying it's quirky. It's quirky. So if you want something to lay your hat on, hey, it's happened twice the last 2 times.
Brandon, this would be the year. I don't know why wouldn't this be the year, man? Kentucky on the bubble. Michigan on the bubble.
Duke.
You know what I'm saying?
Trouble. Gonzaga.
Duke.
Trouble.
Right, Duke. Yeah. North Carolina. Can you believe it? On the bubble. They lost last night to Wake Forest. That ain't out there.
Hey, John, let me give you this, bud. A stat I heard on a podcast this morning. The last 14 national champions in college basketball were ranked in the top 12 at the week 6 poll. Okay? So if you've been ranked in the top 12 during week 6 of the last 14 years, the national champions came from that group of 12. The last 14. Okay? So let me just read you these teams here. And theoretically, if the trends continue, your national champions can be one of these top 12 teams from week 6. And typically, just to give somebody a thought, what's week 12 or week 6 look like? Give me 1 second here. Week 6. What's week 6 look like? It's basically after the non-conference big games, your tournaments and stuff like that. You're getting ready to roll into big play. Here's your teams.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Purdue, Virginia, UConn, Alabama, Houston, Tennessee, Texas, Kansas, Arizona, Arkansas, Baylor, and Duke. That was your top 12. 13 and 14 was Kentucky and IU. But the last 14 years, the top 12 in here has produced your national champion on week 6 of the polls. So
who do I like out of that group? I like that you mentioned UConn. UConn's pretty good. I don't necessarily trust Danny Hurley's coaching in a close game. I just don't trust Danny Hurley. But he's got a talented group. They get it up and down. They defend when they want to, but they are really a fast-paced bunch. Baylor, I don't know about Baylor. That whole Big 12 is dog-eat-dog. One week is all Iowa State. Next week is TCU. Then it's back to, I still think Kansas wins that conference. You know what I mean? But again, if Kansas on that list, yeah, I would consider them as well. Duke, not this year. They're not connected. They're missing like. Remember you said Coach K might come unretired.
He might have to come back, John.
Well, this team isn't as talented as his last 2 teams when considered like who was on them. Zion Williamson was on, the team 2 years ago or whatever, 3 years ago or whatever, right? But like I can't see Duke making the Final Four. I think Duke makes the tournament. At one point they were ranked. A couple weeks they were ranked in the top 25. Right now they're sitting right out. But they're going a streak. But Purdue, those the things to kind of call big. People are going to say, look, we're Purdue homeless. What call we call Purdue? This time I work my mouth. Where does the second and third level scoring come from?
Right. Also, where are you at in the bracket? I mean, trust me, John. You know me. I am gold and black, bleeding it. I just don't. I can't trust the team. When it comes late into an NCAA tournament, I can't. So if you're asking me to pick a team out of that top 12 from week 6, who I've liked, if I say, hey, Brandon, you got to pick a team that's going to win the national championship out of that top 12. Once again, for those listeners, Purdue, Virginia, UConn, Bama, Houston, Tennessee, Texas, Kansas, Arizona, Arkansas, Baylor, and Duke. I have to pick a team. That's my ride right now to win the national championship from those 12. I'm taking Arizona, John. I'm going to take the Wildcats from Arizona.
Oh, no, Brad. I was going to call them. I'm not going to call them fraud. They got a good
Whoa.
It remains to see. No. It remains to see he can be great. That's all I'm saying. I think they got the goods to make it to this week 16.
Let me ask your trust level.
Not the funnel.
Let me ask this. This will be even better. We'll ask each other. Do you trust Purdue that they can win the national championship? I can't. And I want to, but I can't.
Everything has to be perfect. Their guard play is not.
Can you trust them? Yes or no?
They get to the final, win it or get to the Final Four.
Win the national championship. No.
Yeah.
You can trust them? I can't. And I'm a diehard fan.
Man, ain't no.
Is it because I'm gun shy? Is it because I'm gun shy?
Who beat them 2 years ago? UT Texas.
Last year it was your boys there at St. Peter's. Last year.
Yeah, they're not there. But then the year before that was like
North Texas.
Texas, Abilene. Yeah, man.
And then the year before that was Virginia. That broke my heart and my soul, and I still haven't found it. So, can you trust Virginia? No, I can't. No. Can you trust UConn? No, I can't. You can't either.
I just told you what you can't trust about Danny Hurley.
Alabama, can you trust them? Maybe. Yeah, but they got destroyed. But Houston, can you trust them? No.
Was Arkansas on the list, Brandon? Wait a minute, Brandon. Houston get to the Final Four, sir.
They can get in. They can't win it.
Brandon.
This is to win, John.
They have to match
this is to win.
Let's say if they have to match. Okay, if they have to match up small versus small ball, they will win the national championship, and everybody in Bloomington will be tearing their hair out. But if they have to play a team that's a little bit more balanced with a big or two big, that's where they'll struggle.
I'm gonna say no.
Doesn't have Go ahead.
Do I trust them to win it? No. Tennessee, do I trust them to win it? Maybe. So I'm at Alabama and Tennessee.
Hey man, Tennessee.
Texas? No.
Rock roll.
Kansas? No. Kansas can't repeat. They're not going to repeat.
Win the championship? Not repeat. Yeah. Now, Oklahoma ain't there no more. Yeah.
Arkansas? No. Arizona? Yes. Baylor? Huh?
Man, Arkansas is pretty good. He's got you, man. He's pretty good, bro. Remember, this the field that ain't got no blue bloods in it. It's scary.
John, Arkansas is not even ranked.
I wonder why UCLA ain't on this list.
John, they've dropped off. Well, they weren't the top 10 or the top 12. They were 16th back then.
Yeah, I know.
Arkansas struggled, John.
Mike Lewis took on that coaching.
Yeah. I know you're a big Arkansas guy, but John, they're 17-7, 6-5 in the conference. They've fallen off.
Power 5. Remember, they're a Power 5. The name. They'll get in. Brandon, don't be surprised if Michigan beat IU. Michigan on the bubble as of today. They beat IU. That's another Power 5 they got in their pocket.
Yep.
The problem with Memphis, I'm a treat my life fantastic. I was tripping so hard on Memphis earlier. Memphis doesn't have another ranked opponents. They play Houston. They're not good enough to beat Houston. They lost the other night against Tulane, which is the one quick referring to quad 4 loss or quad 3 was one. It's a bad loss, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Losing to Tulane. And they'll be, I think they got a bunch of other AAC teams there, like South Florida, Temple. They can't lose none of those games. That's why they're on the bubble. A team like Michigan, they got other games. They can lose a game, lose to Wisconsin, but then go and beat IU, beat Michigan State. They're back in it.
How much do you trust Tennessee?
I don't, man. I watched them win some games with their defense, but they are some poor. They are streaky three-point shooters, Brandon.
Well, let me play this for you.
They do have good guard play.
Let me play this for you. This is a moment to go.
4.8 to go. Robbins has it.
Vanderbilt.
Here comes Mignon with a pass. Outside to Lawrence for the win. Yes! He got it! He got it! Vanderbilt wins it!
Vanderbilt just knocked off Tennessee at the buzzer. Jerry Stackhouse keeping his job. So that's why I can't trust Tennessee, man. That's why I can't trust them. But you're right. But you're 100% right. Why can't Purdue win it? Look at these teams. We can say it again. This is the year where there's no powerhouse, right? That's going to trip them up.
Nope.
The only people that can beat Purdue is Purdue in the tournament.
Just feed Edie the ball.
You got to give Edie the ball. And he's done well. So, I mean, he's done well. So, John, I'll let you wrap us, my man. It's been another great show. We got Super Bowl this weekend, and everything's going on. It's the love of sports.
I know, man. I know.
Hey, by the way, real quick, before you start, before I cut you off, I will be at Ball State this Saturday, seeing the Ball State Cardinals in action. So, shout out, Cardinals. I'll be up there.
You better. I'm gonna make sure you find Mike Fleck too, man, because he's coming on to the show.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I need to meet up with him. He might be on the golf trip, man. They just won on their golf trip this past weekend.
Yeah, but I got him booked for a future show. So
okay.
Be ready for that. Other than that, Brandon, man, thanks D-Cop for calling in. Thanks for all the folks that kind of chimed in on the Facebook Live. Ever since we kind of made a call for that, man, we've seen more a live reaction, live chit chat. You know what I'm saying? Justin Powell, a couple other people, Orion. You know what I'm saying? Justin from our homie Justin Fox from the Epic Podcast, man, who'll be coming on again sometime here real soon. But like, no, man, great interaction. Another great show. Shout out to me and Brandon Reeves for putting on another great show, man. We'll be back bigger, better than ever. Back to do it next week. Shout out to our sponsor, Maverick Custom Motorsports, Scott K. Nichols, State Farm Insurance. Oh man, we got a great. Oh my God, Crossroads Sports. We got a live show coming. Where me and Brandon gonna be doing it at Scott K. Nichols State Farm Insurance, man. So be looking out for that review. We gotta work out the logistics for all that, man. But it's gonna be crazy, man. Other than that, I'm super excited about the Super Bowl. We're gonna get super that, and I'm super excited about tomorrow's trade deadline, man. What that brings, man. Outside that, man, we'll be back next week, bigger, better, ever.
Yep.
Thanks for listening.
Stay with us tomorrow. If me and John see a trade that goes crazy, we'll probably do a live for 10-15 minutes. So stay tuned for that tomorrow. We'll see what happens. We'll see you guys. Thank you for joining us.
Guys are idiots. When three foolish men, I put you right in that category.
Thanks for listening to the Crossroads Sports Radio Show. You can find more episodes on iTunes and the Google Play Store. Be sure to like and subscribe for more Crossroads